This has all been in the making, everyone, for many, many years. With some of these partnerships, it's been in the making for many, many months. This was not a weekend thing. It was just on the weekend we introduced it. So first and foremost, we are marketers. Now we're going to the market. People need to understand, why do they want to come and join us? Well, because we have just launched the next multi-billion-dollar metaverse. Fully launched. We have partnered in this metaverse. No one has this. A 12-year-old broker, top trading and
Yeah, this is just gibberish bullshit. I mean, I don't know how these people just wake up and make this crap up. It's mind-blowing. I mean, these guys are on next level fucking Kool-Aid mental illness is the only thing that I can describe here. Is these people are just fucking nuts. They have no cooking clue of any sense of reality, and they're trying to get these people into these type of schemes where you're going to make millions and billions and a whole bunch of crap. It's just marketing manipulated, emotional triggering fucking rubbish. So pretty much within this company and within their ranks, they're very much aware now that BDSwiss has distanced themselves completely from this particular MLM scheme, and has outright denounced them with regards to their marketing activities, where they were splashing this partnership with BDSwiss everywhere in all their marketing activities, and how they've partnered with this number one brokerage, and how they're this number one clients of theirs, and this marketing false advertising crap. So what I did find interesting is BDSwiss obviously sent out a notice actually on all their channels, particularly on their website. What I found quite interesting is it's quite bizarre. So if you see here, beware of fraudsters posing as BDSwiss collaborators. Beware of fraudsters? I mean, how dare you? How dare you accuse them of being fraudsters? I mean, everything they do is legit. So, I mean, MLM is a serious business. I mean, it's a real business. How dare you call them fraudsters? So, anyway, let's find out who they called, well, who I need to beware of as fraudsters. I mean, so if we go down here, dear valued clients and friends, it has come to our attention that for quite some time now, GS Partners, Lydian World, Gold Standard Bank, and all their associates have been on a publishing expedition. Amen. Yes, they have. Of content explicitly featuring our brand and registered trademarks, suggesting an affiliation or cooperation with us. We hereby wish to set the record straight. Straight? For what, fraudsters? Fraudsters posing as BDSwiss collaborators? By informing you that we have never started any kind of cooperation or affiliation, with GS Partners, Lydian World, Gold Standard Bank. If you ever come across such content, please be informed that we have not approved it, and we are not associated with GS Partners, Lydian World, Gold Standard Bank, or any of their representatives. We urge everyone seeking our products and services to ensure they are contacting us only through our official communication channels. Fucking ouch. I mean, that stings. I mean, they went on this massive campaign. I mean, they even got celebrities to come and endorse them, like Victor Matfield, who is a legend in his own right, actually, from a sporting point of view, particularly in rugby. So whoever is in rugby would be quite familiar with Victor Matfield. So as you can see, BDSwiss, official partners, right? So, if I was Victor here, I would really question his sense of reality and who he's conducting business with. If his manager set this up, I'd actually fire the shit out of his manager, because this is just fucking embarrassing. I mean, I don't know what the fuck he's thinking, but I certainly would not be fucking jumping to the moon about celebrity endorsements on investments. I mean, what the fuck does a rugby star know about investing? So it's just fucking ludicrous how these people have gone on these expeditions, campaign expeditions, and this is blatant false advertising. I don't care how they fucking wish to spin this or what fucking drugs they on. This is reality, and BDSwiss is fucked off. They are pissed. Yeah, I mean, Victor, just seriously, dude, like, fucking question your life fucking choices here. So the question is, how did this go about? How did this actually come about? So it's quite interesting now because these guys are reeling, right? They're trying to do some proper damage control here. And of course, the scapegoat is the haters. And it's quite interesting because they actually fucked themselves over. They kind of fucking caught themselves out. And it wasn't the haters. It wasn't the haters at all. I'm going to show you this. Okay, so just pay attention here. Like in November 13th, 2020, so one of the MLMers just put their partners up with BDSwiss, even posts a video of them. And this was BDSwiss's response. BDSwiss has no association with GS partners. Please remove this video as you are not authorized to redistribute any copyright material by BDSwiss. Did anybody pay attention at that? No. So a lot of other people started reaching out to BDSwiss. I've actually got an email here, which I'm going to show you. So someone actually did their due diligence because this is one thing I love about these MLMers. They like threaten you. They like challenge you. Do your own research. Do your due diligence, right? Okay, let's do that. And someone reached out to the support group of Global BDSwiss, and they said, yep, thank you for contacting BDSwiss. We can confirm that there is no partnership between BDSwiss and GS Partners. Our legal team has launched an investigation on the matter and will be taking action on these allegations. We remain at your disposal via live chat, email, and telephone Mondays to Friday. Best regards. So I am hoping that BDSwiss is going to take this matter pretty fucking serious because, I mean, they got celebrities involved, branding their brand to potential investors. So it's going to be interesting to watch this to see if they are going to be taking some legal action. Yeah, I hope they do because this is a complete false advertising misrepresentation of BDSwiss and what they stand for. So it'd be interesting to see what this company does. But it was quite interesting to see how these guys were reeling because first they were in shock. They were in utter denial. So let me show you that. So this is from one of the MLM plebs, right? This guy's such a fucking poser. It's unbelievable. So what he's saying is clearly the Twitter person accounts has no idea what they're talking about. Did you see the owner or chairman and CEO of BDSwiss above at our event? They're also there this week at our events in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. But I guess the Twitter media handler knows more than the owner and CEO. I mean, the flippin' fucking attitude of these people is unreal. I love it when they put their foot in the mouth. So I'm going to show you exactly who the CEO actually was and what the fuck is going on. Okay, so in March of 2022, right, first quarter of 2022, they actually announced their new CEO, right? BDSwiss appoints Nicholas Shemtanis. Dude, I'm really sorry if I butchered your name there as the CEO. And so the former CEO was actually Alex Wolfkey. Again, dude, I'm really sorry if I mispronounced your surname. It's not something I come across quite often. But he was the previous CEO of BDSwiss, but he left that post pretty much the beginning of last year, right? And they only launched this Metaverse, and particularly these Metaverse certificates and this collaboration with BDSwiss only in May. And the reason I can confirm that is if we have a look at BehindMLM, they did an article post here just recently. GS Partners covers up BDSwiss lie. And if you have a look here, when it launched its Metaverse certificates scheme in May 2022. So this MLM fucking poser did his own fucking research, he would have realized that the Alex was no longer the CEO and was not there representing in any way, form, or capacity of BDSwiss. In fact, they had a new CEO of that time. Clearly, the handler sitting behind the official company of BDSwiss clearly knows who their fucking boss is. But you're going to see how they change their tune very fucking quickly. But they are persistent in trying to maintain this connection that they have with BDSwiss. Even though BDSwiss is outright stated in their URL slug, beware of fraudsters. But these MLMs are so persistent. No, there is contact. There is something there. There's fuck all there, and that's what I'm going to pretty much show with regards to this video as well. So, and I'm going to show you that same fucking mentality. They cannot grasp reality. It's bizarre. Okay, so let's get back to the haters and another one of their prominent so-called leaders has this to say: for the trolls, keep trolling. Thanks for passing on the press release to our friends at BehindMLM. More reading material for you and them to come over the next 10 weeks. The first few weeks of 2023 have definitely been super exciting. I'm sure you're going to have BDSwiss looking at legal litigation against you guys. For us, as a team, a huge effort was launched to discredit GS partners. You see, so shift the blame now. You see, it wasn't them that just got caught out, as I showed right in the beginning of the video, but it's the haters. You see, it's the haters that went on this epic launch to discredit GS partners. It's standing with BDSwiss. There is no fucking standing. I mean, again, as you can see with their URL slug, they said beware of fraudsters. So, I mean, I want to know what drugs these guys are, man, because, fuck, I want some. We kept quiet, followed due process. What fucking process? It took your own fuck-ups to be called out by BDSwiss and people doing their due diligence to confirm whether there is an actual partnership, which turns out there is no fucking partnership. In essence, what we had was blatant false advertising. Complete misrepresentation. And let those running around with clickbait to fall in their own trap. Well, again, BDSwiss publicly announced no partnership. So what, did BDSwiss fall into their own trap? Meticulously recording every bit of social media banter on this for our legal departments. What the fuck is your legal departments going to do? What, are you guys going to go and sue BDSwiss for outright saying behold of fraudsters and calling your bullshit out? This is in the public interest, hence why they publicly stated what they stated. Okay, so then he carries on waffling on about, and then he's talking about regulations regarding fiat currency is so restrictive that you currently cannot have both a bank or finance house successfully also trading in the vast new landscape of the metaverse. Okay, so this is where they're starting to change, and I'm calling this out as also crap. Okay, because that's actually what has been happening a lot in Decentraland. JP Morgan, one of the largest banks in America, actually the largest bank in America, is got a shop open in Decentraland. And certainly there is no products in a sense where you can exchange fiats or whatever the case is, because, well, that technology still needs to be developed. Those type of on-ramps still needs to be developed. If you actually do a research, in fact, I'll show you now, you'll come across a company called the Transact ATM. Now, they officially are the world's first fiat to crypto on-ramp designed to work interoperably in Decentraland. Okay, so, and they're actually based in London in the UK, and as you can imagine, the fiat laws there are also very strict, and as you can imagine, I just said JP Morgan from the US is also very strict in terms of their fiats. They're so strict in terms of Forex and all of that stuff that US citizens are not allowed to trade Forex with offshore brokerage. So if we have a look at effectively what they're saying is just utter garbage. It's just complete bullshit. So the technology has still need to be developed. There's actually Visa and MasterCard that have gone on patents protection now in terms of looking at on and off ramps in terms of fiat to cryptocurrencies. So that technology still has to come in. That infrastructure still needs to be developed. So that's why you haven't seen the banks and a lot of the brokerage start playing in this place. However, what you have seen, and you can simply just do a Google on the banks involved in the Metaverse, and you'll notice quite a few. There's HSBC, but they've set up shop, but it's more to do with just an advertisements, like first movers in the market space. So that's what you're currently seeing now. And only for the first time now, you're seeing virtual ATMs coming into, well, where else? Decentraland. To me, if we're going to go on with this Web3 being 3D internet, then, well, Decentraland is pretty much the Google of it all. So, yeah, that's pretty much what is happening. So hence why I'm saying a lot of what their stuff is just utter fucking crap. If we have a look at regulations or legislations in terms of European or the EU, again, you'll just find a lot of what they're saying is just bullshit compared to what's actually been posted out by the European Union. So they haven't developed actual legislations in terms of the Metaverse and how that all works. They're currently in that process. Okay, so that now brings us up to the the latest update now. So I actually did my own due diligence, and I reached out to BDSwiss on my Twitter handle, and I actually emailed Skyground just to find out what the fuck is going on in terms of this so-called partnership. So if we have a look here, you'll see I reached out to BDSwiss, right? And I said, please confirm there's a partnership between BDSwiss and Skyground, Alexander. And now, the reason why I put Alexander's name to Skyground, because there's a lot of Skyground companies, right? And I specifically wanted to put his name there because they would have be aware that that's the ex-CEO. So what is interesting is BDSwiss states the following: hi, there is no relationship between BDSwiss and Skyground. So, hi, don't believe everything you see and hear. Let's look at this reputable third-party resource, this North Data, right? It clearly shows everything transparent and reliable of a company. This shows when BDSwiss registered, who's involved, what the organization history, also organograms, also shows the company and Skyground affiliation. Why don't you go have a look at these websites and its third-party verification that BDSwiss and Skyground do have a relationship? Now, who the fuck are you going to believe? Are you going to believe some fucking retard of an MLMer compared to the actual company? Why must I go to North Data when I can just go straight to the company? And the company, as you can see, states there is no relationship. Now I'm going to show you what Skyground had to say. What she said is, hey, Chris, thanks for reaching out. So it says Skyground is a technology provider. It's quite interesting that she doesn't say technology partner, but provider. So make of that what you will. Perhaps that's the semantics, but supporting the Lydian world, Metaverse, and technology products and solutions. So BDSwiss and Skyground share partial mutual investors. That is not indicative of a relationship, because that is equivalent to me saying that there is partial mutual investors, well, investors of Coinbase and Binance. Okay, you will certainly have investors floating between or using both Binance and Coinbase. That is not indicative of an actual relationship or a partnership between Binance and Coinbase. What is quite telling you is, however, these two business entities are acting individually and separate from one another. Okay, so there is really no relationship. There's fuck all relationship. What is interesting, she could have certainly have said, yes, there is a mutual relationship between us, and agreements in place that we have, but she doesn't mention anything like that. This is just simply they share some mutual investors, but that is not indicative of a relationship between BDSwiss and Skyground. BDSwiss outright rejected any claims that there is a relationship, and you have their marketing head confirming, well, lack of confirmation that there is such a relationship. All she has said is that they share partial mutual investors. Again, that is not indicative of a partnership or relationship, as given the example between investors floating between Coinbase and Binance. That is not indicative of a relationship. So again, these MLMers just flat out ignore basic facts, and facts coming directly from partners such as they claim with Skyground, which I believe there is some sort of collaboration. I'm quite happy with that. I've no issues with that. I do find it bizarre that she highlights technology provider, not technology partner. But again, perhaps that's just semantics. But certainly from BDSwiss side, they're like, fuck no, hell no, in no shape, way, fucking form. There is zero fucking cooperation, relationship, partnership in any way, shape, form, and fucking capacity with GS Partners and with Skyground. MLMers are MLMers. I am not an investor. I'm a business analyst. That's how I see myself when I go and invest my money or buy shares of a company. I don't see myself as an investor. I see myself as a business analyst. All right. I look at their balance sheets. I study their income statements. That's what I do. That's what I love doing. I'm beyond addicted to it that I read companies' balance statements. That's what I do. And that's what you need to do. If you want to play in this space and you want to be successful in terms of investments, my best advice is read the balance sheets, read the income statements, read so much about these legends in this game of how they made their money, because they share that information. They share their philosophies. They share their checklists. They give so much wealth of information. They write books about it. So just read. Never take advice on what to do with your money from MLMers. What the fuck do they know? Honest to God, what the fuck do they know? At the end of the day, listen, I would rather listen to Warren Buffett than a fucking retarded MLMer. It's just fucking, and if you're going to listen to MLM, then you're just as fucking retarded. I mean, it's just no cure for you. Just fucking, please, just go lose your fucking money. Anyway, that's me. I'm out. And yeah, till we meet again.